have a number of questions for you to go through. So basically, remember you can collaborate. Certainly, if you want a group study, you can. So just write down your own solution, because in the past you have to write down your own solution, right? As long as you learn how to do them, I will be fine with it. So this is more for you to get some study going. The way you submit this homework is actually go to D2L. In D2L, we have assignment. We have the folder set up here. You just drop your homework into the folder. The grader will see it. Okay. So you could use the late days. So that will create a little bit of hassle here, because I can't set individual deadline for each assignment. They have to be uniform. So in that case, we have to basically collect your late assignment a different way. But email probably would be the solution, or we'll create a special folder, or you can just. I think there are some way for us to collect that through D2L as well. We'll get to that when we have such a situation. So essentially, you have 3 days if you want to spend on these homeworks. So you can spend them on one homework. You can spend them on one on each homework. That's up to you. Okay. We don't have a formula for you. All right. So essentially, these are just things with key point, things we would like you to go over beyond the lecture itself. Spend some time with those questions. All right. Any questions regarding homework?
Does the late turn-in only apply to homeworks?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can't use them on the project?
No. The late day is only for the homework, because homework we essentially mean to be the flexible part of your own study, not the project. Project, we want you to make it by the deadline, the milestones. What else? All right. So you're on your own in terms of managing your own schedule, in terms of homeworks. Right now we have all the homework out. If you want to do them out now, that's fine. If you do them later, that's okay too. But just make sure that you make each one their own. They have their own deadlines. Okay. Project I think is announced last week. So essentially you have to go down all the way down here to see the real meat of it. The application. So this is the application. Nobody here can claim that they don't know what to do and how to do, right? I bet your phone is receiving some of the messages right now for you on one of the chat app. So essentially, yes, this is you can see that this is your Facebook Messenger. This is your iMessage. This is your WhatsApp. This is Snapchat. It's basically fundamentally it's the same thing. Okay. So this is also the way right now you can see that such a major app can actually be simplified and be developed by a single person with on 300 level. So to be honest, I haven't seen anybody really fail the project in my previous offerings of 300. So everybody delivered basically, I would say, a working version of this before. So this is definitely on your level. Okay, it's not something. Don't be scared. Say, oh, yeah, I may not be able to do this. Guess what? I mean, hundreds of students have done this, and certainly they got different grades, maybe, but I think they all had a functional program running of some sort. Okay. So let's go.
The requirements part of the project. What exactly is needed for the requirements document?
Pretty much, and that'll be your use cases.
Okay.
If you don't know what's the use case, then we're going to talk about them again today. All right? So majority part of the requirement document would be your use cases. So for instance here, this is exactly what you guys are going to do in the future. Okay? this is actually a better case. When somebody actually spent the time, wrote down a requirement for you in English. Okay? So your job, so certainly if we have full AI, you guys are not needed here. We just run this through the AI and we got code running and everything and boom, great, right? If that's the case, I mean, including myself, we'll be finding different jobs or no jobs at all. Or maybe we just don't even need to work at all. Actually, if that come to that, we probably disappear from the planet Earth altogether.
Yeah, 'cause if at that point, then AI is going to be developing AI, right? So
They can deliver, they can multiply, right? So basically they can multiply, they can grow. This is exactly what you have seen in movies, I mean Matrix, I mean Terminator, and what have you. It's going to be that case, right? Before that happens, okay? You may or may not looking forward to that, I don't know, but before that happens, this is your job. Don't make any mistake, okay? This is the single most important thing you guys are here to learn in computer science. No other things. Your job is to take a specification like this. Somebody written it down, or somebody articulate that to you, and you actually translate it into executable code, which people who have written this requirement will say, yes, this is what I want. That's your job. Don't make any mistake. That's your job. This is the most unglorified description of your job. Okay? Other things just we learn here just make you do this job better, deal with bigger and bigger system and more complex system. But in the end, fundamental thing here is you are asked to translate this natural language specification into programs that deliver exactly the requirements, functionality demanded by this description. That's it.
In the description of the requirements document, it says the project specification is vague. That would imply that our requirements document needs to be more specific than that?
Yes.
How much more specific?
So basically, you have to be specific enough so that you can start implementation on that.
Wouldn't part of that be in the design phase, though?
No, design phase is how you are going to do it, not what you need to do. Right? Requirement phase is to nail down what you need to do. Not what you need to do, but what needs to be accomplished. Right? So how you accomplish that would be in the analysis and design phase. Right? So lay down the classes, lay down the functions, lay down the algorithm, eventually lay down the code that's in the implementation. That's how you actually do it. Right? Here, I gave you this, and basically I'm stipulating this is what I want from you. Okay? This may not be something you can actually build, because there are some maybe a inconsistency in the requirement that basically render this as something that you cannot build. But that's the part you need to clarify to make sure that you have something you can build out. But in this case, you can always build something out based on this. Okay? So let's go through this. So essentially, this is actually the harder part of this project is not only you have one single program, you actually have multiple programs running at the same time, right? At least you need to have a server and you have a client. At least. How many of you think you don't understand what is a client, what is a server? How many of you, let's ask more positively, how many of you think you understand what is a client, what is a server? You didn't raise your hand, so you don't have you don't know what is a client and what is a server, or you have a different thinking. Yeah, exactly. I think you actually understand that perfectly well. So this is just a middleman in the middle. This server sitting in the middle, collect all information from you, deliver your information to you. And also, another thing is, it has to save all the things you send to somebody else, or somebody else sent to you. This is different from your messages. Okay, iMessages would be different, right? They actually so they actually keep the message on the server, but you cannot go to the server to retrieve that message if you delete that message on your phone. Although they actually buffer all your messages. But this is Facebook Messenger would be different. You can go actually retrieve the chat history of everything. Okay, so we are better than iMessages in that sense. So that is one difficulty we put in here. So you have to basically, now you, instead of managing one small program, you are managing at least 2 small programs. Okay? That will actually make your head spin a little. Instead of just worrying about one single program, now it's time you start managing multiple programs. Okay, so as you can imagine, our client server architecture would be very simple. Right now we have one client here. That's your app. Client number 1. Then we have a server here. Let's put it this way. This is our server right here. Okay, so essentially you at least have 2 programs running at the same time. Okay, because if your server is not up, your client shouldn't be doing anything. Because that will be just like, okay, whenever you see, I think you saw that message, message many times called server not reachable, right? That is when basically somehow your server is not running, or the network connection to the server is not running, right? But that may happen when you actually shut down your Wi-Fi and when you're trying to load something, for instance, on your Google Chrome, then it will say not reachable, right? Same thing. So at least you have 2 programs to manage. And minimum, you have to worry about, okay, so whenever I start my client, I need to connect to a server, okay? That's where all my information is stored. Believe it or not, almost all the useful programs you're doing today follow this architecture. Your Google Cloud, your Gmail, right? Your Facebook, right? What else you guys use? Slack, maybe using, or Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, what have you. They all use this client-server architecture. And this thing has been around ever since the internet. Okay? We still haven't come out with better architecture that can dislodge this architecture. So basically, I mean, although this is almost more than 20 years, maybe 25 years, you guys are still learning the same architecture I learned when I was in school. Okay? Because we just couldn't find a better one to dislodge this one. You may have heard about peer-to-peer, but yeah, they had some application, but nowhere near this. Nowhere near this. Okay, this is still the biggest way. So essentially, whenever your client is running, first you have to contact this server. Contact this server and get the messages back and communicate, basically log on to the server. Okay? So this is something you guys do every day. For instance, when I log on to our D2L, I did the same. Right? You will do the same. So essentially, for instance, if I log out here, we'll go through this. If I log out here, okay, say if I start fresh, okay, nothing running right now, right? Nothing running. We are basically running through our requirement right now. So nothing running. So I'm going to start a browser. Okay, you can imagine this is your client starting. This is actually my client. Okay? The client that happens to be called Google Chrome. Right? So this is simple, right? No, so if you have any difficulty understanding this, let me know. Right? I don't think you have any, but so this is my client. I'm actually showing you my client. So where is that server? That server is right here. Let's say D2L. Okay, pdx.edu, right? So this is basically, I'm telling the browser, this is my server. Okay? When I hit this, I'm going to this website. Basically, I'm sending a message to this server. Who knows? Who cares? Where is that server? I don't care. I don't know. That's the beauty of all these programming infrastructure tutorial I probably gave you last time, socket-based programming. You don't care. Basically, so all the infrastructure took care of this. You don't really need to learn a lot of network programming to be able to do this. Somebody else already done the job. So I basically send a message to a server, and guess what? I got this login page. This could be your app. What I'm asking you is create a Java program which will show something like this when it's launch. Okay? Basically, or more like this. This is it. Okay? Your Java program, this Java program going to launch just like this. Okay? It has basically say login. Okay? Say your password and so forth. Then, or you have a new user. Okay, so this is something you have seen thousands of times, right? Whenever you go to any website, you see this, and they want you to log in, or they want you to sign up as a new user. So basically, within this project, I'm asking you to do something you have been using thousands of times. But you are on the other side of the fence. You need to know how to implement such a facility. Okay? Nothing challenging here. Basically, you have been using this for like how many times, right? Thousands of times. Now I'm just asking you to program this instead of just use this. Then immediately you will see, okay, what is involved and what's the difficulty behind this. Okay? Now you need to manage multiple programs instead of just one program, or not even one whole program, just a template for your theory. You guys are on 300 level, which classify you guys as a CS major and junior and everything. Okay, this is the leap you have to make right now. If you are just writing that piece of list program I was doing with you in class quiz, that you are not making that leap. Okay, right now we are forcing you to make that leap. All right, so basically this is what you're going to see, right? So that's very easy. So remember here that so it has the login, has the basically activation, pretty much like the sign in. So I'm going to sign in here with my password. Okay, this you should support, and this can be supported easily with Java facility. Okay, if you don't know, you need to learn. I mean, this is our bread and butter. Okay, how this is happening. How our program take care of this, okay? Minimum everybody should know. Once I hit the button right here, boom, it shows the D2L web page. I'm actually sending something into the server again and getting information back in display. Okay, so there are many things actually happen in the middle. I mean, so your server has to keep a database of users and their password. Now, actually, it's something for you to learn how to keep username and password. Okay? Even the most famous website called Facebook keep your name and password in plain text for years. You could do the same. I'm not blaming you, all right? So Facebook, they got paid. $500,000 to do this, and you certainly have the freedom to do so. But I would recommend you to really use the right way to do this. I mean, Java provides you a facility to actually hold your password and name, in encrypted way. Okay? If you don't want to learn, you can keep it in the plain text. Then basically you made a horrible mistake. That's not my problem. I'll have somebody else educate you in the security class. Or you got hacked, then you got a real lesson, which I'm not going to be responsible for. Okay? Once you log in, there are many. What could happen when you log in? What could happen when you send your username and password over, and you cannot log in? What could happen?
Error message.
Yeah, not only you have to worry about, when I'm so good at typing, I type the right password, okay, and username. What if I give you a wrong password and wrong username, right? Then you should reject that request and display, say, okay, you made a mistake, I don't recognize the password and the username combination, and I'm going to reject your connection. All right? Fair enough? Right? So, go ahead.
You hear about, in the first lecture, you said
So,
you care about the amount of code. Because you said at the first lecture that you want us to code thousands. So you care in the project that the amount of
I don't care how much code you actually write. Okay? But you have to meet my specification.
what is that? How do you want the project?
No, you cannot use any other fancy things. Just I'm actually asking you to code this in Java.
So you just want the code.
Yeah. So basically, your code. If I found your code somewhere else and somebody already claimed,